Welcome to MLive's Dungeon of Doom podcast. Obviously, a different tone tonight and a different focus tonight. This is about 1 a.m., August 9th, after the Detroit Lions and Atlanta Falcons game was suspended early in the fourth quarter. Morice Norris, first play of the fourth quarter, appeared to take a knee to the face mask and was down on the field for 20 minutes in a really scary scene. I mean, medical personnel were out on the field with a backboard and a cart immediately, and eventually medical personnel called for an ambulance to come on the field and took him to a local hospital. And I will just open with this, we're just going to provide some updates on him and just share the scene and what Dan Campbell said and Raheem Morris said. But we just got an update from the Lions recently, and it's that Norris is in stable condition and has feeling and movement in all his extremities. He will remain overnight at the hospital in Atlanta for observations. They thank the Falcons, the EMS team at the stadium, and the doctors and staff at Grady Hospital for all their support. Obviously, positive updates for a very scary situation. Kory, you were at home watching on the broadcast. We'll get to my experience in a minute. Nothing was said to us while it was going on. So while the clock was running and the players were just kind of standing on the field, I mean, we're looking around and they're not going to continue to play, right? I mean, when did that become clear on the broadcast at home?
I think it became clear once, I would say that. So I think it was around the 14:50 mark when I think it got snapped, or that's when the play happened. And then I would say somewhere around the 13:40 minute mark, I believe it was TJ Lang that kind of caught wind that, hey, these guys are, they're not playing, because Emory Jones snapped the ball and there was just no movement, and it just kind of looked like, hey, they're going to just run this play out as just one long play and just let this clock run out because guys were just standing there idle. And I got to say, him and Benetti were really excellent throughout the situation. They didn't show any replays of what happened, so I didn't get a second look at it, and I honestly haven't even, stuff can be on the internet. I didn't look for it either. But yeah, it was just a real somber situation. You were there and you saw it, but anytime you see an ambulance come out on the field, that's never a good situation.
My heart dropped. It really did. It was something. We didn't have a lot of people from Detroit in the press box tonight. It was just Dave Burkett, myself, Nolan Bianchi, and Jen Hammond in the press box, and it was like, holy crap. This is really bad. So I mean, it was really scary. I'm not going to talk about what I saw or what people have posted or anything right there, but I just in recent days and kind of seeing how fans have reacted to players being injured and being out, this is a very dangerous game. And whether it's an ankle injury, a shoulder injury, or what happened tonight, these guys, it's not hyperbole. These guys put their lives and their livelihood and their bodies on the line every time they step on the field. And I just thank goodness it's been positive updates. And I'll share what Dan Campbell said after the game, because like you said, they snapped the ball after about 20 minutes of stoppage, and both teams kind of just stood there. They had a moment where it looked like they prayed together. I mean, and that clock ran. I mean, the clock ran without word from officials or anything from 14:50 to 6:31 left on the clock when a referee finally stepped and said, we are suspending this game. And Dan Campbell was asked what went into the decision, and he cut the question off. Not rude or anything like that, but he just said, Raheem Morris is a class act. He is a class act. We agreed it didn't feel right to finish that game. That man is a class act and always had been. And he said Campbell told the Lions, we're taking knees. We're going to take knees for the rest of the game. They are too, the Falcons, and we're all going to take knees until this thing is over. So both teams really came together and said, this is a preseason game. One of our brothers is in trouble right now, and it's not the time to play football.
Yeah. Morris just said that maybe get Danny want to dig too deep, but yeah, they asked Morris the same question when he spoke to reporters. It was really brief. I don't think he spoke longer than 3 minutes, and he just said him and Campbell met, and the decision was to run the clock out. just out of respect for Norris, his family, and all of the players that were involved that are emotionally invested. Here's what Raheem said. He said, "It's not a lot of times that happens. I can't sit here and tell you that I've been through a lot of those or seen a lot of those. I don't think any of us has." And that was the moment, the decision in the moment, and it was the right thing to do for our football team and the Lions football team. And he was Morris was asked about whether he considered any potential ramifications from the league office for that decision. He said it didn't cross his mind at the moment. It was more so about Norris, his family, and getting the players out of there.
Yeah, league action. Are you freaking kidding me? I just, that would be, in some of the absurd things the NFL has done, that would be one of the more absurd things. If this was something that Dan Campbell, like, we don't have official word from the league or anything on the particulars, but I mean, reading between the lines, it sounds like Campbell, Morris, Lions, and Falcons said, we're getting out of here. This is a preseason game. Like, this is a preseason game, and who cares if it's a preseason game or not? Like, this was, whenever an ambulance has to come on a field and I'm telling you guys, they were running out with the medical personnel were running out with a backboard on the field within, like, seriously, like, instantly from the time he went down. And I mean, this is a 24-year-old kid, man. This is a 24-year-old kid, and he is someone that the guys gravitate toward. I mean, Dan Campbell said it. I mean, he's like a little brother to Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, and you see a lot of the Lions players tweeting well wishes. And I mean, right before the Lions sent out their most recent update, which was positive and all that, Terry and Arnold tweeted, "He's good. All glory to God." Obviously, we don't have specific injury updates or anything like that, but even after excuse me, even after we ran downstairs to talk to Dan Campbell, I mean, he said it's been positive news. I mean, very, very somber, very serious. And we'll play a clip here of what Dan Campbell had to say. We'll just clip that in right here. And it's just a nice peek into the man he is and how he cares for his teammates, or his players, excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing that on TV, just two things. One, I mean, you can tell, you can speak to this.
Yeah.
You were there, but it sounded like once they decided to call the game, I thought I heard cheers from fans like, "Yeah, let's just get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of, at least that's what I picked up on TV. But the one thing, just looking at the broadcast, Deshae Townsend, Lions secondary
Mm-hmm.
coach, he was visibly shaken.
Mm-hmm.
You could just see. I don't know if they have that clip is going to come out, but he was just tears in his eyes. And when you see the cuts to all of the players, I'm like, it did put me in the sense of, this reminds me of the Damar Hamlin situation. I don't know how they're going to start this game back up.
Exactly.
And all of these guys are this visibly shaken on the sidelines. It was just like, I don't know how they're going to do it. So, I mean, I felt the game should have been called at that moment, but I've never seen something that unique where the players just snapped the ball and said, "This is just going to be a live play. We're running this clock out until they stop it."
Yeah,
because you couldn't do a 2-minute warning because it's still a live play. So that was really unique, and I thought that was a real show of humanity from both teams. Just to be able to do that, especially the Falcons players.
I mean, yeah, props to the Falcons, props to Raheem Morris for just noticing the gravity of the situation, because I'll tell you right here, right now, like, the Lions and the Falcons, both of those sidelines reacted exactly the same about this. I mean, it was every single one on that field, even the chain gang, camera people, like, on their knees, man. And it was, I'll never forget being there for, like, it was just, you just hate that. I mean, you really just, obviously you hate that, but it was just, it gets you a little emotional, man. You cover these guys, you spend time around them. Like Norris, that's an undrafted kid out of Fresno State by way of Orange Coast College, 24 years old, just trying to do what he loves and just try to make the league and stick in the league and stick with this team. But yeah, let's play a clip from Dan Campbell here, and then we'll meet you guys on the other side.
It's an eye-opener, it's just an eye-opener. It hits, it hits a little different, and, it puts things in perspective. And I'll tell you what man, it's a violent game, and we love it. And but when something like this happens, the silver lining is, man, the brotherhood. I mean, to see all those guys, from that team, our team, kind of come together, and everybody's just means a lot. So
yeah, just emotional. And Campbell said Norris's mother was with him at the hospital. There's going to be some people from the Lions staying behind. Some teammates wanted to go see him at the hospital, which kind of just, yeah. I don't know what else to say. We're not going to talk about the game on the podcast because I don't want to do that. This game is about one thing. This night is about one thing, and it's about his health and being okay. And I just say thank God that it's been positive updates, and I hope the positive updates continue to come in for that young man. We'll eventually talk about football because that's the football world keeps going and it demands that of you. But tonight, that's just not going to happen. The game was suspended. Lions were up 17-10. Interesting note, just from the NFL game book, they did not recognize that Emory Jones snap where the Lions and Falcons just stood there for 8 minutes. They called the last play of the game, the play where Norris went down. So I'm curious to hear the league's perspective on this because once again, this is me reading between the lines. It really sounds like the Lions and Falcons took this into their hands and said, we're done here. We're done.
Yeah, I mean, and again, good on both coaches just to recognize the moment and just agreeing to that. I mean, the guys are done. I mean, even on you did bring this up. I didn't bring this up, but on the TV broadcast, Nate Carter, who was in that situation, he had teammates come and try to console him because you'd seen that he was shaken up too, just looking at the field, just like distraught, like he was visibly hurt over what happened. So, I'm definitely curious to see how the league tries to handle this. I don't think there's really anything to handle. Just let it be what it is because you try to police the situation, you might get a very negative reaction. So, but it was just so scary to see live because you didn't know and you didn't know what was going on. But again, like I was just telling people, anytime you see it's bad enough when a player gets carted out or loaded onto a backboard or something like that. But when you see the actual ambulance drive onto the field, it's just okay. This is a different. This is different. This is a different type of situation.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you. That place, that arena cleared out. People were like you said, there was a cheer when they called this game was suspended because it was almost like a sigh of relief. Like, I don't know, man. It just, I really do hope. I know it's hard to forget that these guys are people that put their bodies on the line and stuff like that. Just take it easy on the guys who get hurt. I'm not saying people are dogging Norris or anything, but I'm talking about anybody. Like, injuries happen. This like Dan Campbell said, this puts it all into perspective. This is eye-opening. This is a reminder how dangerous this game is. And I just, we did not go in the locker room tonight. That did not happen. Obviously, smart choices there too.
Absolutely.
I know I'm there to do a job and report and talk to players. The one player we did talk to was quarterback Kyle Allen, and I'm just gonna play the clip from Kyle Allen too because I thought he handled himself in that moment very well, and I asked him a specific question about what it just meant to see the Falcons react the same exact way that the Lions did. I mean, praying. The clock is running, and these guys are praying together.
They're praying. I've never seen nothing like that during a live play. Never seen it.
I mean, they literally said, we're done here. I mean, and I know we already talked about Campbell and Morice each saying they would take knees until this thing was over, but they literally prayed together while an NFL clock was running. And I mean, it was confusing, guys. Like, it was, because we were looking around like, are they really freaking about to start this thing again? So I just want to make it clear. This was a nightmare situation that was very well handled by all involved. That was very respectful. That was a beautiful show of humanity in a moment of confusion and fear. and more confusion. And I just want to say once again, for those, all the updates have been good. Even the update that Campbell right after the presser was that he's got movement in his extremities. He's talking, he's breathing. And the latest one, he is stable. He has feeling and movement in all of his extremities. He's going to stay overnight at the hospital. We will obviously have every single update that we can for you guys. I mean, that if you look at our website right now, it's just updates as we've been getting them. And that's what, I mean, like I said, we're eventually going to talk about football again because that's the football world. But like this tonight was about one thing. And I say we get out of here. We'll play you Kyle Allen's words on the way out, just because I think that was a tough situation to put him in, and I think he handled it really well. And I think he just captures everything that needed to be captured about this night. And we don't want to take too much of your time. We're not trying to use this for anything. We're just trying to update you guys with what we have. And, if you're not reading, we'll hit you with the podcast. But hey, just we'll have updates for you at MLive.com/Lions. Anything that we get from the Lions, anything we see out there, we'll have. And I just want to say, Mo, hope you're all right, man. I love seeing all the positive updates. I'm going to pray for you tonight. I just hope you're okay, man. That's scary. These are humans, man. These are humans. That's a 24-year-old kid. That's a 24-year-old kid out there. And you just it really does put things into perspective, because like football is a very dangerous game. And just but hey, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back later in the week and just praying for more good news. But here's Kyle Allen after the game, was suspended just to play us on the way out. Did a great job putting everything into perspective.
You never think something like that's going to happen. And I'm just praying for everybody in that locker room too that watched that and saw that going on, but most importantly for Mo.
What does it mean to see the Falcons players, experience it the same way you guys did, and really come together in that moment?
Yeah, I think anyone that's put their body in the line on the field understands what they're doing and understands the gravity of it. And at the end of the day, we're all out here football players. We might be on 32 different teams, but we've all played football our whole lives and had our own injuries and been through it. And I think people when you're on that field and you see that, you understand how dangerous it really is out there. And at the end of the day, we're all football players.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Kyle.